Hi, I'm Tiffany, and this is Broke Girl Aesthetic. On this channel, I do budget-friendly DIYs, thrift flips and hauls, trashy treasures, and more. I got an awesome tablet recently from Amazon, and I'm going to use the box that it came in and a piece of black leather to make a fun craft. This is something that I wouldn't normally do, but it's for a really special collab that will be posted up here in about an hour. And yeah, I just thought I would put it here on my Funtime Friday playlist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off some pieces of this box and I'm going to turn this into a book. It's going to be a book box. And maybe some of you have seen some other people making them recently. I guess, jumped on the bandwagon too. This is a perfect thing to use to make one. So I'm just going to cut these pieces apart using an X-Acto knife. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to like glue part of it to the bottom so it'll act like a spine, I guess. So I'm basically cutting off 3 out of 4 of these pieces. So I have those cut. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to glue that last piece to the back part of that box. I'm just going to use some hot glue and secure the top to the back there. And there it is. The book box is starting to take shape. You can kind of get an idea of what this is going to look like. Next thing is getting the leather cut out, and I'm using a silver Sharpie to trace the outline. Here it's the bottom of this little box, and I'm going to try and take this and make it fit. This is an awkwardly shaped piece of leather, so I have to basically do this in 2 parts. What I'm doing is the bottom of the box and then up the spine, so it'll be, you know, extended a bit. And then for the second piece, same thing, it'll be the top of the box and down the spine. So there will be some overlap, as you know, you'll see as I'm putting it together. Just taking a straight edge to make the piece that I want here. And I'm going to do 2 of these. Now I realized after I glued this on that the top kind of hangs over a bit like it would on a book, but the bottom doesn't. So I'm taking this extra piece and I'm going to glue it to the bottom to give it that extra little lip, I guess. And then I can wrap that leather around it and make it look more like a book. You know, sometimes things just happen and you just kind of roll with it. And that's what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the hot glue, go along the edge and fold that leather up over it to give it that, you know, book cover look. And then I'll glue it to the bottom of the box. So I can just pull that leather down around the bottom using the hot glue and just gluing it down, going around. I was running out of glue here, so I can just continue on gluing it down and then I can start with the top. So now it's time for me to do the top, and like I did with the bottom, I'm going to make sure I pull the leather down around the edge there that's going to hang over, and I do have a little more to work with, so it'll be a bit easier. So again, just using the hot glue, and I'm going to go ahead and just glue this down. After I've got it all glued, there it is. Now on the spine and on the front, I'm going to use my Cricut and I'm going to cut out stencils and paint the title of the book. And if you saw the thumbnail, you know what it is. I'm really excited for this part. This video is part of my Funtime Friday challenge. The challenge that isn't really a challenge. The only challenging thing is what video you're going to post. Co-hosting with me this month is Sarah from Can Sarah DIY It. And this is the playlist that I like to have for people to post stuff that maybe they wouldn't normally do. And this particular craft isn't something that I would normally put together. And that's because it is part of another playlist, the Dark Academia Valentine playlist. And this little collab is hosted by Indiana Jones, and it is using the Dark Academia decor genre, something that I've never really delved into before, but I was intrigued by it and thought I would try it out. I'll leave a link to a like a wiki page all about Dark Academia. It's really interesting, and there's many of us that have joined together to do something a little fun. So that playlist will be live at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And Indiana Jones is hosting a little giveaway for this Dark Academia Valentine playlist. In order to enter to win, everybody's got a question in their video that you need to answer. My question to you is, do you like musicals? Leave the answer in the comments below. To be entered to win, make sure you comment on everybody's videos, and you can learn more about the prize thing on Annie's video. Check it back here for the link to that. If you're coming from that, the link to my Funtime Friday playlist is in the description box below, as well as the links to my co-host and Indiana Jones as well. So I did line with craft paper, but I'm not going to keep it that way. I'm going to texture the front and the sides of this box with this wall mending agent that I'm pretty sure I got from Amazon like a long time ago. And I'm just going to spread that out on this part of the box to try to emulate the look of book pages. Now, I didn't have a comb that was messed up enough for me to use, like, put lines in it, but this spreader that I found has all kinds of like glue and it's just all gnarly and beat up, and it kind of worked out perfectly because it kind of leaves little lines in this. So I'm just going to go ahead and spread it about on all three sides and let that dry, and I am going to paint them. I'm not going to leave them white. Definitely want to give it the old book feel, vintage, so we're going to do gold on that. So I'm just going to continue around spreading this and texturing it, and then I will let that dry. I'm going to start coloring these pages using folk art products from Plaid, and I'm using the antique wax and brushed metal in gold and the metallic and antique gold, I believe, are the ones. I don't remember if I showed the camera or not. And I'm using a chippy brush also from Plaid Crafts. And at first I was going to dry brush this, but that didn't work out so well. So I end up giving a generous coat of the antique wax to the pages of my little book here. It worked in my head, as you know, these things sometimes do. And then when you start, it's like, yeah, no, that didn't work out the way I thought it was. So I'm just going to go ahead and, as you see, decided it's time to just slap it on there. So I'm going to do that on all three sides and get in. I do take a detail brush at one point and get into all of the little crooks, nooks and crannies, crevices, cracks, whatever, and put that down nice and thick so the entire part looks, oh man, basically just looks like wood. So I'm just going to take my two gold paints and just drop some of it down here on my silicone mat. I love this thing. It's so handy. I can just wash it off when I'm done, or if I leave it to dry I can just peel it up. I just kind of put the two on my mat there, as I wasn't really sure which color I wanted, if I wanted to mix them up. I was just playing around. I had no idea what I was doing. And I grabbed my chippy brush because once again, I thought I was going to try this dry brush thing. Not so much. It didn't really work out that way, but hey, you know how it is. So I just paint these edges gold, and I won't bore you with all that. So I'll just skip on over this to the next part. So I'm going to use some stencil vinyl and my Cricut to cut out stencils for my book cover right here and for the spine, and I'm going to paint the titles on there. Now I'm just letting the Cricut do its thing, and this is sped up. It doesn't move this fast. I don't have the new one yet, but when I do, it will probably look like this in real time. This is sped up, so. But I cut that, and now weeding out the spine. Now, I cut this one too big, so I did have to do a second one for the spine. But just weeding that out. As you can see, Phantom of the Opera. Gaston Leroux is the author of the Phantom of the Opera. 1910, I believe, was when that was published. Yeah, and that's what my title looks like. I've applied my stencils. Now I am ready to paint. And I'll just start that. I'm using the Folk Art metallic acrylic paint in the antique gold, and I will use one of these little foam dauber brushes from Dollar Tree to do the painting, and I will speed up through this process. Now I was really glad to have an excuse to do something related to Phantom of the Opera. It is one of my favorite books. It's my favorite musical, play, movie. I just love it. I love everything to do with Phantom of the Opera. And I used just an image I found online. That is from the Andrew Lloyd Webber edition of the Broadway show, Phantom of the Opera. Originally 1985, I think. I don't remember for sure. So taking that gold and brushing it along the edges of the leather to, I don't know, give it a little zhuzh. Also using the antique wax to tone it down, antique it a little bit. Also going over the gold paint, mixing it up. Just, all that jazz. Another musical reference, sorry. I like musicals, yes. So the next thing I need to do is get the paint for the mask and the rose. So I'm using white, and that's Painter's Palette, which was a plaid product carried by Family Dollar. It's now folded into Dollar Tree, and they carry Crafter's Square, which I don't know if it's plaid or not. The red is Bright Red from Apple Barrel, and the green I use is, I believe, Folk Art Multi-Surface, and it too is bright green. So just dabbing through this quick, getting these little bits done. And then once I have them painted, I will let it dry. And I let it dry overnight. I wasn't in any hurry to peel it off. And I had a reason for that, and you'll see in a minute. This is the next day. Everything is dry. Comes up pretty quick. And I did have to work with some of it. I like the Cricut stencil vinyl. That I do like. I'm not a fan of their other vinyls, but I do like this one. I'm just using tweezers, my picker tool, just bringing this all off. And that's how it looks. And you can see it, like, it peeled up some of that paint and it's chippy and stuff, which is perfect. And I did this on purpose. I was hoping this is what was going to happen. I thought if I peeled it up while it was wet, it wouldn't do that. But there it is, and I love it. It's so pretty. So let's take a look. I lined the inside with a velveteen fabric, and yeah, that's it. There I have it up on my shelf. Sitting on top of it is Gone with the Wind and Jane Eyre. So there's a couple of romances for this Valentine's dark academia thing. I don't really do Valentine's, just saying. That's a better picture of it. It's perfect. I mean, I wish I had the actual book and it looked like this. I don't have the book. I need to get a new copy of it. It's been a long time since I've had it. And if you've ever seen the movie, you'll know that the little rose that I have sitting up there with the ring on it is a nod to that movie. At the end of the movie on, well, I don't want to give away any any details, but if you've seen the movie with Gerard Butler and Emmy Rossum, you know what that is. So I really like it. And I had a lot of fun making it. And yeah, so don't forget to check out the links in my description box to the Funtime Friday playlist and to Sarah of Can Sarah DIY, my co-host. Come back here at 6 Central Standard Time to get the link for the Dark Academia playlist. I think there's like 16 or 17 of us who participated in that. So make sure you check that link out in an hour. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to spread the YouTube goodness. Like, comment, subscribe on everybody. Thanks you guys so much for watching. Have a great weekend. Take care, y'all. Bye.